Amitabha Buddha, ladies and gentlemen, people woke up this morning. The first idea is, do people remember the Buddha? People remember the Buddha, but do people have the heart to pray for the dead? People to receive the Buddha's memorial to tie the knot. Adi-do Buddha, Adi-do Buddha. Adi-do Buddha. I ask Amitabha Buddha to send me to the West. Amitabha Buddha, Amitabha Buddha, Amitabha Buddha. Ladies and gentlemen, the reception will continue today with the masses quoted in the Buddhism Joint Communique of the Great Master. The representative also shared the study with you yesterday. A stage of the Great Master of Negotiation. And then there's the great talk. I have heard you briefly. Today, the representative continued to read a passage of the distinguished Professor. Let's hear it for you. Master, you damn teachers. When reciting the Buddha, every thought I keep for the present I often remember. The morning also remembers, the evening also remembers. I also remember sitting and not letting my mind go. The Buddha does not leave the mind day and hour. Don't let go. I love to crave like a chicken. Usually keep warm, one after another. So, that's the next meditation. Use more wisdom. When you shine light, you know that purity is from the heart. That's the wisdom of the wise. Folks, that's a phase. The Masterer. It is a good idea to advise our practitioners to recite the Buddha. At this stage you're just telling me how we are. He said that our recitation of the Buddha, every thought is permanent. Usually often. Constant is continuous, often not to be interrupted. But why can we do that reciting the Buddha? Not to interrupt, we can recite the Buddha. Every day I think like that. Where does it come from is that we have to practice our faith and put all your heart into it, belief in this Buddha title, and the enmity that prevails when reciting this Buddha title. It should be clear here. Now you want to test one. You have to know the reputation of that school. You must know that. What benefit do we get in that school? We do something real if it's useless. It doesn't have the benefit of the stupid AI. The same is true of our Buddha reciters. Why do we recite the Buddha? Why do you remember? I usually have to remember a lot. Don't interrupt because of this Buddha sign. It can help us. It can solve birth and death we have in many lives. To deal with our deep suffering. In many lives, many lives. I want to go back to the Western world. The world, to take refuge close to Amitabha Buddha. It's a good environment to learn. You must also recite this name of Buddha. Because of this Buddha title, it is the fruit of Amitabha Buddha's cultivation that has accumulated. In many lives, that established, that created. Create a city. This Buddha title, as the Amitabha says, he wants to be full of grace and grace. New people, people who want to be fully virtuous. It can bring us back to the Western world. But in that great Guru's annotation, what do you say? Who is this good person? Good men, good women. Who is a good man? Good woman. Who is a good person? The blessing of employees. The Great Master is the master of the Pure Land. He said you can start reciting this Buddha title to pray for life. He is a good man. Good woman. Who is fostering goodness? The blessings of grace for yourself. to match up with the extreme Western world. Lost the world hearing about this? Then the reason why every day we recite the Buddha, because reciting the Buddha is the right conduct to achieve human beings. I live this life and work. Because reciting the Buddha is the main virtue. It's the first thing we do. For pure practitioners, By that, in this example, we see the benefit. And to give birth to the extreme West, lost the world. If we don't rely on one of these virtues, there's nothing we can rely on. People and recite this Buddha title is full. Is in accordance with the teachings of the Buddhas. Corresponding duty vow, the Buddha corresponds to the mind of the great enemy. Remember that this name is the Buddha. Corresponding duty corresponding to the great master's calendar. So it's helpful to recite the Buddha's name. And hatred wins. And at Sao we must often recite the name Buddha. As the great ones have said before, the name Buddha is called infinite life, infinite sense, infinite wisdom, innumerable merit. People in the Venerable Buddha's Bola Byung recollection, like mind meditation, said the one who left this Buddha title, mind glass initiator, title Buddha Fat Prayer Vang Bo, then all the goodness and merit as much as it pleases. What to say? When you say it is born, it is born. How much merit does it produce? From where this Buddha title? Who don't know about this? Buddhist scriptures you can go back to find out. We read through it and we hear through it. Then we see that this Buddha title, the Buddha said too much that the enemy won. It's so magical, a Buddhist title to arise. How many blessings of grace and grace it converges on ourselves. Why is that? Because we took your guess. To be a human being, let me practice. To become my own guinea pig. To quickly become a Buddha to reach the end of sentient beings. To the end of sentient beings, for example, someone who wants to succeed. Want to be good at? Of course, we have to find someone who's successful. The problem that he must be excellent at is called. High hand press that. Now I say Amitabha Buddha, who is so wonderful. We want to be good. We want to be good. We want to become a Buddha quickly. So that sentient beings here, the Buddha is so full of thick. Experience is to thick merit newspaper. Just rely on your world. Rely on your virtue. Just lean on it. We want to do that. We have to listen often. Here continue to talk at every Sao. Every thought must be kept for the present. Often remember to remember. Often remember to remember. The morning also remember the night as well. Remember not to let the rice pass. Don't let the rice pass. This one Buddha title that we raise up. The light of the day. To spread our time. Enlightenment in the Ming Man period. Time to remember Buddha. Whatever it is, it is. That's how it is. You have to remember. Where do we go when we die? The ceremony is at the time of death. What is our idea? The 12th master of pure mind is you. Master, he said, don't ask who we're going to. Let's not ask who we are or not. Even a German crane, there's no way to know. Why? Whether we are born or not is due to our own minds, and let us pray together. You sincerely recite the Buddha's prayer for the afterlife, then the true Buddha never abandons you, because that is your acceptance. He wants to save you from the curse. In the French era, this yoke of suffering and birth, what is it? You have taken the initiative. You've taken the initiative. He is ready to save you, to help you, to support you. But important, do you really want to be free from this suffering? Not to make fun of suffering. To take that ignorance and do that as wisdom is happiness. Take that suffering, take that Korean poverty as a mask for yourself. This woman is happy. I love everything. Hold everything tight. I don't know that in this world. And then one day it's all ruined. There is only one prayer. It's not a lie. Only the Maitreya Buddha in the Western world is ecstatic. Like the good old man of Shanghai. We say there is nothing real in this world. Only Amitabha Buddha, only the West ecstasy is true. It's my home. It's the place I rely on. It's just an inn. Then one day, I have to leave this place at some point. But where you go is what's important. You must sincerely go to your home. Go to your hometown. It's the ecstasy of the West, the ecstatic Western world. So why do we have to recite the Buddha every day for hours? It's a day that reminds us, every day we wake up, we are suffering. Ecstasy is fun. She is just a temporary earthly inn. Temporary ecstasy. It is our own true home. Listen to these episodes today. Excited mind excited about that recitation of the Buddha. The one who recites the Buddha but does not listen every day. It's not built. It's not fired. Not burned. This fire of faith, one day it will die out. Gentlemen, at Sao Buddha Memorial Day, recite the Buddha, you see the hips. There is a saying that goes on and on. Talk forever, praise. Why is sound not boring? In this Buddha title, it's very strange. It's very strange. How does it say in the Bible? This Buddha's name is given. Is sound. In this Buddha title as there is a miracle. The sound is in there. Just keep thinking. Just keep thinking, you keep thinking. To truly recite this Buddha title, I don't know why. Everything knows. I don't know a lot. That knows a thing called softness. It's fluent. It's clear. Not dim. Sir. Now, I'm telling you, these guys didn't learn anything. I've never been to a Buddhist school before. It is only true to read the words of the masters. Sincerely believe in the Buddha's prayer for the dead. I keep saying this for 3 years. Without interruption. But keep talking. He knows that. And the more he talks, the more he likes it. And how many people are precious? Where does respect come from? I respect myself because I am praising my prayer. I respect myself and admire the teachings of the Buddhas. Respect me is extolling the title of Amitabha Buddha. So a person who truly recites the Buddha does not need the bridge, the name of your benefit, the name of natural interest. There's no hope. The demand in it is full. So this Buddha title goes on and on. Don't let go of your secrets day by day. As tight as a chicken hatching an egg. I find your example too good to be true. The hen that hatched her eggs. If it takes a few days, it's hard to hatch. Day by day, day by day, day by day. When he finished eating, you see, he sat there. When is the word ripe? Until the day of my birth. And he goes out at night, he's got a hot meal, a cold meal. How about a hot meal? The egg is rotten and rotten. So, is our bodhicitta mind. The same is true of our own minds. Listening to French every day. Day by day we learn the teachings of the masters. What is that? That's the day we're hatching. Let me give you a break from the heat. People say that this is the fire. The heat that's burning up. Let this bodhicitta, let this kind of willingness, never let this fire go down. Once it's down, that means it's going to get weaker and it's going to turn off the fire. When the fire is turned off, bodhicitta is like rotten milk. Bodhicitta is also forgotten. Very well. Gentlemen, some people say there is a reminder. We're good enough to listen, let's learn. Because this is for our own benefit. Solving death is for us. Freedom from suffering is for us. And the practice is born into a Buddha. Is we solve it ourselves? No one solved it. No one can solve it like the modernized talking earlier. Master said there is no AI. No one can solve it for me. 10 French world. Every day the world of hell is proud of the animal. We simply remember the Buddha every day. Is that we've been growing seeds every day. What thoughts are in our minds a lot? Become a habit. And that's when it comes first. It's like the day you pick up bananas. It's a modern way of thinking. The second feeling is always too far away once the difficult feeling. The road is rugged, rugged, rugged. I just went on an ankle flip and it made a sponge. But I thought it was over. It's like I didn't break my leg. Or you can't walk if you have a sprain. It hurts, you know. What was the first modern idea that emerged? As soon as he made a fever, he fell down. Sitting down are the big ones. Amitabha Buddha let me go to the West. Amitabha Buddha let me go to the West. I miss it so much. Sorry? Amitabha Buddha to the West. Amitabha Buddha on the West. Amitabha Buddha, the modern Buddha, so its feet. The Buddha is like that. But the great. What do you mean by fun? When you have a problem, one off the ankle, I thought it was broken, or it was badly sprained. Yet in that pain, the first idea that's built up is, take me back to the West. Amitabha Buddha let me go to the West. The pain is just like this, so glad. Today is like a Buddha exam for me. When sickness comes, when suffering comes, when something suddenly comes to me, I still remember the Buddha's recollection of the, what is this? This is thank you every day for you. But there's an opportunity to remind you. It reminds people that they are reminding themselves. Reminding yourself that reading means reminding people. Repeat over and over again. If you don't hear it, repeat it. Then receive the great not remind you. Listen to them to build trust. So through that get the talk. Why do I get the big one? A great receiver. I can remember the Buddha and pray. Because it's a day of ignorance, don't give up. Be like a chicken laying eggs. It's like a chicken laying eggs. It's getting used to it. There is always a Buddha. The seed of faith, it also burns in the heart. Whatever you do, keep your life. Whatever you do, keep your life. You have to remember this. I love my husband and I worry about them. That's my graduation. It's my grace to them. I'm not called a cowboy. It's not what I call irresponsible. Be responsible for them. But in that responsibility, must know that greatest responsibility of the reciter. This life is our lucky chance to meet the Pure Land. It is my responsibility to leave this body, stinky in this life, to take the immortal body of gold. It is the responsibility of this life to decide Western ecstasy in the world. When we hear about this, we know. The weight of the Buddha sign. Hey, it's not that simple. It can solve birth and death, to deal with suffering in many lives, for ourselves. This name of Buddha is very wonderful. It is from this title that the Buddha established. That established. If you've heard of this, you should know that our right conduct is the recitation of everything is great in this world. Good enough in front of my eyes. I can hear it or do it in front of my eyes. Buddha depending on the grace. Remember the Buddha is to remember the Buddha according to the conditions. The Buddha's thoughts are the main listening to you. Remember the day. Now, don't let go of the fattening, hatching chicken. Hold on to your last breath. Sorry to keep you warm. Connected like that, that is, recollection continues to speak. Keep on talking. Again, use your mind to shine. So, pure is from the heart. I've heard that using the word wisdom, now I often say, Master Kwong used to say it was pure land, is all around me, the wind is blowing. River, stream, our bonsai, look before our eyes. It's all a display of the ecstatic Western world. In the past I received, when I was young, I was poisoned. He was 20 years old when he received the poison. 9 years ago. 9 years ago, listen to these stages. Uncle doesn't understand. Now I understand you. Now, let us do it with you. Care for plants. I have to fertilize it every day. You have to take care of it. To create the ecstasy of the West. I think that the Buddha was very miserable. To create the ecstasy of the West, I just made a small scene. How much time, effort, tired of sunbeams and rain to plant plants, to create a beautiful landscape environment. Now I think the Western world is through countless lives. The number of lives he created, it's not that simple of you to build it. So, we think about this. Find the Lord's grace to great. Because of us, you did it. You volunteered to do that. No one asked you to do it. And then one more. Let's go outside now. Every time I eat food, good meal, bad meal, bad meal, good food. Any bad meal is annoying. Hard Asian people. Young people can eat, but old people can't eat well. This dish is eaten sometimes. A lot of people have diarrhea. Sometimes this person is in school. Abdominal swelling, abdominal pain. Yes, now the Western world based on this platform. I want to eat. If you want to wear it, don't call it. From what is called. What dish do I like to prepare? Which one do I fit into? What do I like in my stomach? Which one does my digestion like? Then use that. Where did it come from in the human psyche? That he founded the ecstatic Western world. People scold me, people scold me. You are miserable and happy. People praise themselves, they praise themselves. One day it will too. That's a compliment when I die. Where it goes, nothing is mine. His own nothing material wealth. If you close your eyes, if there is an earthquake, what are those things? Here you say. If you use wisdom to illuminate, you know the pure land. That is, self-interest. What does it mean? Whether our inner self is pure or not is important. We know how to look at the problem. Turn the tide. My husband insulted me, not for me, that I can remember the Buddha's meditation secretly then practicing. I know that. Every time I yell at me, that's what makes me wake up again. Must return to the West, to go to the West to remember the Buddha. To remember the Buddha. And find that if your husband loves you too much, yes, support me too. I kept my eyes open for him to scold me. I can see her face clearly. I can see that blissful joy. That's what it is to use our intelligence to examine us. She found ecstasy to be fun to focus on the Buddha mind. To pray for ecstasy. Through this stage, so tell me where the pure land is. Purity is in our minds. We know how to turn. If we know how to flip the hand, this is the face hand. We know how to turn our hands over. This is a grimacing dark. Where is this? Whether we know how to flip or not. Do we know whether to turn around or not? So, to say that is to be mindful. Continue to use your mind. Wisdom to illuminate. Then know that purity means self-consciousness. What is self-interest? Our own minds to regulate as modern. Say simply, what comes to us is adversity. Let's make it into that adversity. It's a charm, motivation to pray and pray. Some things come to me. It makes us lose sight of our negativity. Let's take that gap, that negative to build up the will. To illuminate me. You are miserable and happy, then determined to pray for the birth. From where do we build ourselves? Want to be like that? Listen to these words often. The words will do this sharing naturally. Come on. The ring will read this. Let's end the sharing today. Master, you damn teachers. Every thought must be permanent. Keep current money. Often remember to remember. The morning also remembers. I also remember sitting there thinking too. Don't let your mind wander through this Buddhist verse. Not leaving the mind. Day time. Don't let go of the honey crave like a chicken hatching an egg. Keep the warm breath together. So that means that mindfulness continues to use more. When the mind is illuminated, it knows that purity means self-consciousness. That's the part that we're going to share with you today. I wish you the best of luck. This one life, he soon returned to the Western world. Non-tissue AD Buddha.